Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land under the prairie, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. Stand of the brave, the US of A. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, gave way for the land of the brave, and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching Maxspeed TV.
Welcome back, folks. Another episode of Maxspeed TV right here. OP Monday Night Premiere Series. Don't adjust your sets. You're not having deja vu, folks. We are back racing here at the iRacing Superspeedway as these guys are still in practice. With about 9 minutes left, we're going to go ahead and jump right into our point standings as we look at these point standings from the last 3 races. Of course, Gabe Butler with the win last week, Jeff Crosby Jr. and Brian Wang all with wins so far on the season. Of course, Zach Workman right there in the mix. Zach Fritsch, Nate Warren, Adam Kilday, Kenny Real, Andy Brigante, and Mark Mann in the top 10. Get to the other side over there. Rick Sanchez right there as well. Lynn McNeese, Jimmy Reynolds, or I'm sorry, Hunter Reynolds, That is the 53 of Dave Hunt. Steve Rada and Dustin Logston just above that cut line. Then the 47 of Richard Kuhn right there just below Eric Laurie, Stephen Luttrell, and Steve Corsick right as well underneath that cut line. So got to have a good finish for those guys to get moved up above there. We'll see what happens tonight. But here we go, looking back at what happened last week. Your race winner at Daytona 08, old Bumpy Road Daytona. Gabe Butler with the win. Dustin Logston in second. Hunter Reynolds in third. Dave Hunt fourth. Eric Laurie in fifth. Of course, your Stage 1 winner was Jeff Crosby Jr. And your Stage 2 winner, the 71 of Sean McCara. Most points the last three races, though. Gabe Butler with 123. Jeff Crosby Jr. at 118. Zach Workman at 106. Zach Fritch at 93. And Nate Warren sitting at 90 points for the last three races. So we're having requests here. Let's find Mr. Stephen Luttrell. Buddy, I don't know if you know this or not, but your truck will not move coming off that when it's stuck on the wall like that. Yeah, no help coming at you either, is there? So, well, Stephen's kind of in a little bit of a pickle there. Well, yeah, if you want to, but probably not a good idea to do it. You know, just saying there, buddy. Good Lord. You might want to holler and see if somebody give you a little bit of help, or maybe call a wrecker or something. But, well, guys, we do appreciate everybody tuning in tonight as Stephen is still stuck on the wall. But I appreciate the kind words from William Luttrell. I'm doing the best I can. Glad that everybody is here, though. Of course, these are the trucks tonight. You know, Saturday night we had the Xfinity cars. We had quite a few cautions, so hopefully tonight will be a little bit better. So far, from what I'm seeing, the trucks are a little bit better handling tonight compared to the Xfinity cars. We'll see what happens, though, as these guys are grounding down. We're going to take a look and kind of go over the schedule for Monday night to see what we got coming up. As soon as I can get that pulled up here, it's probably going to pop up right in the middle of the screen, so we're going to slide that over. So tonight we are at iRacing Superspeedway. Next week, though, we'll be at Daytona for 100 laps. Then we go to Talladega on June the 23rd. And then June the 30th, we will be right back at Bumpy Road Daytona. And then, unfortunately, July the 7th, we will be back here at the shady track of iRacing Superspeedway. Stephen Luttrell down on pit road having a little bit of fun there as they're waiting on, it looks like they are going to do a little bit of a pit party here as he is trying to push Vicente Guerrero out on the track. Of course, they are teammates with that No Presta team. We'll go ahead and jump into, we do have our teams here. We will start with the Nerd Esports team of Steve Rada, Jeff Crosby Sr., Peter DeBorja, Richard Kuhn, and Dustin Logston. Then we go to the CFM Checkered Flag Motorsports with Bubba Winningham, David Overstreet, Dave Hunt, Les Levy, and Lynn McNeese. A team of Buttkicker Esports, that is Dude Conrad, Jimmy Reynolds, Hunter Reynolds, Eric Laurie, and Gabe Butler. We go to Team Wicked Race Team, Andy Brigante, Andrew Schroeder, John Guerrera, Doug Johnson, and Alex Giffen. A Team Fuel Sim Racing, that will be the number 12 of Zach Fritch, the 16 of Nate Warren, the 19 of Zach Workman, the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr., and the 71 of Sean McCara. Then we go into Team Vendetta Motorsports, the number 3 of Alex Green, the 04 of Mark Mann, the 5 of Rick Sanchez, and the 85 of Adam Kilday. Then you get to the part-timers. That will be the number 4 of Rick Seabrands, the 44 of Anthony English, and the 95 of James Mayer. Team No Presta, that is the number 1 of Josh Ball, the 11 of Kenny Real, the 14 of Vicente Guerrero, the 36 of Stephen Luttrell, the 87 of Adam Schramm. And then you got 2 part-timers on that team, the 40 of Stephen Miles and the 54 of Brandon Pfeiffer. Then you go to the Dell Cup team. That is the number 05 of Brian Wayne. The 027 is Steve Korosek. Of course, Kevin Freeze and Sebastian Marin are both part-timers. And then we have our one and only member of Fastlane Racing, and that will be the 024 of Everett Lane. I'm looking to see if Everett is out here tonight. I am not seeing his truck out on the track or in the session, but right now, looks like we got 33 drivers in the session tonight, folks. Going to be a good field now. Looking at some of the speeds, of course, they're not the 230-plus mile an hour we were seeing in the Xfinity cars, but we are hitting speeds of about 205, 207. See a Josh Ball there at 209, Stephen Luttrell at 210. So it's going to be some good speeds for these cars out here, or for these trucks, I should say, out here tonight. But tonight is stage racing. We have 2 stages tonight. Lorna out there, he is his father's son. Moose Pie, how you doing? Good to see you guys out there. But we have stage at lap 25 and lap 50. Now, if they have a caution prior to, say, after lap 21 or 46, the stage will, or before the stage end, the stage winners is however they enter pit road. So we'll see what happens as Stephen Luttrell still out there playing around. Having fun in these trucks tonight, guys, here at iRacing Superspeedway. So about 45 seconds left of practice. We will get right into qualifying. Of course, we got to give shout outs to some of our sponsors for the Premier Series and for Maxspeed TV. We do have Chevyland.com as our Maxspeed TV Green Flag sponsor. So big shout out to Bubba Whittingham and Chevyland for being our Green Flag sponsor here on Maxspeed TV. Also, got to give a big shout out to all the admins at OP that do what they do behind the scenes to make it possible for these guys to race and really have something for me to broadcast on Monday nights, because, well, if I wasn't broadcasting, I'd probably be out there racing. So, but also got to give a big shout out to Buttkicker, sponsoring pretty much all of the OP series that we have, to include our Premier Series, our Wednesday night, I believe. Don't know, I think they do Thursday night as well as Saturday night unlimited. So a big shout out to Buttkicker as we get here started into qualifying. We'll go ahead and get our qualifying bar up here. Right now, Dustin Logston looks to be the first one out on the track. Peter DeBorja, Gabe Butler, Josh Ball, Jeff Crosby Sr., Mr. Les Levy out on the track. Nathan Warren out starting his qualifying laps. Now the first lap will be a warm-up lap, and then they will have one lap of qualifying. So not quite sure what's going on, but guys starting out and then restarting. So we'll see what happens here as Gabe Butler is back out on the track. Peter DeBorja, Bubba Winningham, Steve Forasek, Andy Brigante, Nate Warren, Josh Ball, Jeff Crosby Sr., Dave Hunt, Jimmy Reynolds, Dustin Logston, Les Levy, Stephen Luttrell coming out on the track, Eric Laurie out getting his qualifying lap in. We will start seeing some of these qualifying times come in here pretty soon. Rick Sanchez out on the track as well. Richard Kuhn, Adam Schramm, Zach Fritsch, and Kitty Reel. But right now they are in the middle of their warm-up lap. Vicente Guerrero coming out on the track for his qualifying run. Gabe Butler right now looking to have, well, Steve Corsick right now, it looks like he's got the fastest. Dustin Logston throwing down a 55.41. Jeff Crosby Jr. or Senior in fourth. Bubba Whittingham with a 55.43. The same with Mr. Les Levy. Looks like Jimmy Reynolds with a 55.44. Eric Laurie 55.45. Jeff Crosby Sr. and Dave Hunt with a 55.47. But right now, Dustin Logston is in your top spot with that 55.41. Gabe Butler knocking Dustin off of that top spot, though, as everything just kind of froze up on me on my SDK. Let me find and refresh that. Vicente Guerrero taking that top spot away from Gabe with the 55.39. Butler, Workman, Crosby Jr. Peter DeBorja coming in now with that top spot, 100th of a second ahead of Hunter Reynolds with a 55.37. About a minute left of qualifying. Looks like we've got a couple of guys that is still out on the track. John Guerrera, Adam Kilday. Got about 45 seconds left here. But right now, Peter DeBorja is sitting in that top spot. Of course, Peter is a member of the Nerd Esports team. About 15 seconds to go. I know Adam Kilday. We'll see what he does here as he comes to the start-finish line. Will not be able to finish his qualifying lap, so Peter DeBorja is going to be your pole sitter for tonight. We'll grab Pete, bring him up to the booth, and see what he has to say. Pete, awesome job, buddy. Got the pole for tonight. Man, just barely knocking Hunter off of that top spot. How's things feeling out here tonight compared to what it was Saturday night?
I mean, these cars are a little bit slower, a little bit easier to handle, a little bit lighter in the front. So they're going to do everything a little bit better. The pushing will be better. The pit entries will be better. So I don't expect it to be that bad. However, we don't have stage points on Saturday. So you're going to have people get plenty aggressive in the middle of the runs here on whatever laps they are, 25 and 50. So expect plenty of nonsense still that ISS can bring. People like to drive with their hairs on fire when stage points are given out. So this place accommodates 4 or 5 wide. So Yeah, just buckle up, I guess.
Buckle up. Let's hang on. And, of course, these trucks aren't used to really going 200 plus mile an hour, but you guys were doing that in practice and getting up in about the probably about the 192s, 193s in qualifying. So we'll see what happens. Great job, Pete. Congratulations, buddy, and hopefully we'll see you at the end of the race.
All right, thank you.
Well, all right. I was trying to move him, and he moved himself, and then I moved him into another room. So it's all right, though. Well, we're going to go ahead and get to our starting grid here. We'll get that out of the way. Maybe as SDK decides to freeze up on me again, but your starting grid right now, row 1 on the pole is the 42 of Peter DeBorja. His outside is the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. Row number 2, Vicente Guerrero on the inside. Outside of him will be Gabe Butler. Row number 3, Zach Workman. On his outside will be the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. Row number 4, the 81 of Dustin Logston. His outside is the 5 of Rick Sanchez. Row number 5 will be the 71 of Sean McCara. His outside will be the 6 of Bubba Winningham. Row number 6, Dude Conrad. On the inside, his outside will be the 62 of Mr. Les Levy. Row number 7, inside 59 of John Cabrera, and his outside will be the 12 of Zach Rich. Starting row number 8 on the inside, Jimmy Reynolds. His outside will be Andy Regante. Starting row number 9, Kenny Real on the inside. His outside will be Eric Laurie. Row number 10 will be the 47 of Richard Kuhn. His outside will be the number 1 of Josh Ball. Row number 11 on the inside, Jeff Crosby Sr. His outside, Dave Hunt. Row number 12 on the inside, Nate Warren. His outside will be Adam Kilday. Row number 13, Adam Schramm on the inside, and then Stephen Luttrell will be starting on his outside. Row number 14, Brian Wang in that 05 machine. To his outside will be the 027 of Steve Corsick. Row number 15, the 04 of Mark Mann, and to his outside will be the 99 of Alex Gibbon. The starting row number 16, the 82 of Dan Harrington. To his outside will be the 48 of Andrew Schroeder. Also, don't show it here, but we also have the 84 of Lynn McNeese and the 83 of Doug Johnson will be our 33-34 in row 17. Here we go, green flag out, folks. We are racing and wrecking already here at iRacing Superspeedway. That brings out a quick caution. Let's take our Maxspeed TV and see what happened. It happened right here at the start-finish line. Looks like we might have a Alex Giffen into the back of the 027. That will be Steve Korosik. Big checkup right there, and Alex let off, but right into the back. Drops him down into that 25. And then it just piled up. Daniel Harrington, Mark Mann involved in that. And I'm trying to see who the 25 is. I'm not seeing a 25 on my roster. So Brian Wang in the 05. I see what he did. Got the 0 marking out the 2. These guys will be getting back up to the front to try this restart. Pete DeBorja is still your leader as he comes down pit road. Vicente Guerrero, Hunter Reynolds, Zach Workman, Gabe Butler. Of course, everybody's going to go ahead and take advantage of this caution right away and re-top off on fuel, I would imagine. I wouldn't think we would see any tire changes. But we will see what happens here, as we are still on Pete DeBorja. Pete just drove through. I'm not seeing any tire changes. It looks like guys are just getting fuel. I do see tire changes back there in the back. I believe that is the 84 of Lynn McNeese going ahead. I see the 82. Of course, 82 was involved in that caution. Peter DeBorja, Vicente Guerrero, Hunter Reynolds, Zach Workman, Gabe Butler, Sean McCara, Rick Sanchez, Jeff Crosby Jr., Zach Fritch, and Dustin Logston, your top 10. Then you have Winningham, Conrad, Guerrero, Reynolds, Jimmy Reynolds, Warren, Real, Levy, Cone, Schramm, Crosby Sr., rounding out your top 20. Dave Hunt, Eric Laurie, Ryan Wayne, Josh Ball, Andy Brigante, Lynn McNeese, Dan Harrington, Adam Kilday, Stephen Luttrell, Mark Mann, Andrew Schroeder's coming off of pit road, Steve Korosek still down on pit road, coming off now, Alex Giffen and Doug Johnson. Alex still in his pit box. I don't know if Doug is having issues, but that will put Doug a lap down. Well, the lights on the pace truck are out. You've got 84 laps here tonight, folks. It's going to be a long race. We'll go ahead and take a look at our weather for tonight. The 4-mile-an-hour winds and 65-degree temperatures, partly cloudy, with the 76-degree track temperature tonight, so not too bad of a night for these guys out here. Just thankful down here in Oklahoma we got a little bit of a break from Mother Nature. We're going to get a few days of decent weather. I'll hopefully dry some stuff out. Need to get some mowing done around here. My yard's starting to look like the Amazon. Well, guys, if y'all tuned in last night for our CFM race, some big news here on Maxspeed TV. Joshua is going to be making his return to the broadcast booth next week, as we will actually have a double broadcast. I will be broadcasting OP Saturday night, and Joshua will be broadcasting Here we go in the Geico restart zone. Chevy Land green flag out once again. They are on the loud pedal trying to get this thing going. The 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. with a big wiggle there. Almost got into the 8 of Duke Conrad. On the back Real right now, the 59 of John Guerrero battling out side by side, back up to the front, Vicente Guerrero. But here comes Hunter Reynolds, Gabe Butler, Rick Sanchez, and Jeff Crosby Jr. with the 8 of Duke Conrad on that outside line. Vicente Guerrero, that is Zach Workman, Sean McCara, Zach Fritch, Dustin Logston on the inside line. Gonna try to get that as we got a big wiggle back here. 62 of Les Levy. Could be wrong. I think that might have been the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. We got a car going up on that high side. That is the 47 of Richard Coon. He's trying to get back down in the draft. Now these cars are flying. 218 mile an hour to 19. I see a 220 with Hunter Reynolds and Rick Sanchez. So these trucks are flying, but that outside or that inside line really has the momentum right now. Ooh, big move by the 12 of Zach Fritch coming to the outside line. In front of Hunter Reynolds. Try to get pushed up there to get that outside line moving. Kind of keeping an eye on my timing screen. I'm not seeing a whole lot of movement, just a lot of side by side in this group. All the way back to the 8 of Duke Conrad. Then we get back down to Bubba Winningham, Nate Warren. Here comes the 59 of John Ferreira, the 53 of Dave Hunt, and the 1 of Josh Ball on that outside. Les Levy down here on that low line, just kind of cruising around. See what happens. That's a 16 of Nate Warren, dropping down to the bottom. Bubba Winningham looking to the outside of him right, but now we're going to go 3 wide, 4 wide with the possibility. I believe that is the 1 of Josh Ball pushing the 83 of Doug Johnson up towards the wall. Doug is a couple of laps down. 3 laps down, so he's trying to stay out of everybody's way. Hunter Reynolds and Rick Sanchez will get moved out to the front. Here comes Gabe Butler, Kenny Reel. The 8 of Duke Conrad and the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds on that outside. 81 of Dustin Logston right there as well as the 6 of Winningham. Rick Sanchez does jump up in front of, I believe that is Gabe. They make their way around. I believe that is turn number 4 coming by pit road entrance. Rick Sanchez going to get a lap of that, drops it down to the low side. That gives Gabe Butler a chance to take the lead. But Rick Sanchez with a good run on that inside line. The inside line still seems to be the preferred line even tonight. Trucks are seem to be handling this iRacing Superspeedway a little bit better. Back here, ball back 3 wide. Ball on the outside with the 05 of Brian Wayne. Brian goes to the high side. That's the 42 of Peter DeBorja. We are still 3 wide. That is the 16 of Nate Warren. No help. Everybody just gets nasty. A lot of back and forth switching positions here, guys. Trying to keep these trucks pulled down. That's the 88 of Gabe Butler. Gets a good push out to the front with Rick Sanchez, Hunter Reynolds, and Zach Fritch. But on that outside line, though, Kenny Reel, Bubba Winningham, or Duke Conrad, right there, as the 71, looks like Sean McCara jumping up to that outside line. Looking at our pit strategy, Right here, pit stop strategy, stint fleet. We see trucks coming down. That's getting on there. That's Gabe Butler. Leading that group, Hunter Reynolds, Dude Conrad, Jimmy Reynolds, Jeff Crosby Sr. About 9 laps they come down, so not getting a whole lot of laps on a tank of fuel tonight, folks. My team, so Gabe Butler, Hunter Reynolds, Dude Conrad, Jeff Crosby Sr. just went down with them. Jeff Crosby Sr. is actually in a Nerditudes. So it might have been a little bit of a new strategy there. Road this early. Got me a little bit of coffee for tonight, folks. Keep in mind. My singing voice in the middle. Got 17 viewers right now, 4 likes. Please hit that like button. If you're new to Maxspeed TV, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon, let you know every time we do go live. We got a big group coming down pit road. Kenny Drill, Zach Rich, Ryan Wayne, Jeff Crosby Jr., Vicente Guerrero, Sean McCarr, Josh Wall, Steve Trail, and Adam Schramm all down pit road. That's going to put Zach Workman as your leader right now as they come around the 15. That is Jeff Crosby Sr. Lap 14, we have lap 25 will be our stage. That could be pit strategy here, folks, to make it to the stage. Get the stage points. The stage win will get them points. Now here comes Zach Workman, Peter DeBorja, Dustin Logston, Rick Sanchez, John Carrera, Les Levy, Nate Warren, Mark Mann, Adam Kilday, Richard Kuhn, and Dan Harrington. Dave Hunt's been out here 12 laps, as well as Bubba Whittingham. Lynn McNeese has been out 11 laps, 12 laps for Andy Brigante. So we'll probably see these guys pitting here pretty soon. And as we look at Andrew Schroeder, not seeing where they have been out. Dave Hunt coming off of pit road, coming onto pit road. That's Dave Hunt, Bubba Whittingham, Andy Brigante, Lynn McNeese. Schroeder's been out 13 laps as well as Corsack. Of course, Bubba Whittingham has already come down pit road. Eric Laurie has been out here for 13 or 12 laps. Lynn McNeese is coming off of pit road right now. Keep an eye on these guys as they come around turns 3 and 4. Big track here at iRacing Superspeedway. A 3-mile track, so it takes a while to get around. And just as we figured, here comes Andrew Schroeder, Steve Korosek, and Douglas Johnson. That's going to put Eric Laurie still out on the track. We are at lap 17. Now that's going to spread the field out. Big Hunter Reynolds Butler, Kenny Real. Now we're 3 wide. That's Zach Fritz, Sean McCara, and the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. Taking it 3 wide back here. About 3 rows deep there. Oh, here we go. We got guys spinning. Crosby Jr. up and around over on his top. That's going to bring out a caution, folks. Let's take a look here. As we see, we're going to go to a chase view. That was Sean McCara. Just getting Zach Fritz a little bit off center. Sends Zach up towards the wall. Thought he was going to save it, and then right there makes contact with the wall. McCara gets down on the 33. That sends the 33 down into Peter DeBorja, and then the air just catches him. And then up and over and barrel rolls. It lays back on the 4 wheels, but that is one heck of a ride. Let's take a rewind. We'll go cockpit view on this right here. Let's see, where is the cockpit view for? There we go. We are in the cockpit on board with Jeff Crosby Jr. And we are going to play this at full speed here, folks. Watch this ride. He's trying to save it up and over, and woo. That was a ride, folks. Well, let's see if Jeff will visit with us. Let's see where he's at on the track. Give it just a second. Looks like he's coming down pit road. We'll give it a second, let him do his pit stop. We will have a shootout to our stage. Make sure I get on the right Jeff Crosby. Looks like he is not taking his fast repairs. So let's see if he will visit with us real quick. Jeff, Steve, you okay there, buddy?
Oh man, you caught me off guard. What's up?
Well, that took a pretty good ride right there, bud. We're just checking on you, make sure everything was all right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we're good. Shockingly, it was only 2.5 minutes, so I mean, it's not terrible.
not bad.
I was going about 185 by myself there on the pace lap there. We'll get majority of this fixed. I'm going to roll out here, actually try to come back and top off. Probably just ride the stage here, honestly.
Have a few laps left in the stage, so.
Yeah, kind of just right in the back there, and it happens. I think just some miscommunication is going to happen. I mean, this track is a little scary coming in the turns and coming out of the turns, so. But yeah, I can't wait to watch that replay. With me upside down. So.
Well, we went cockpit view, so it was pretty exciting ride there. Just making sure everything you was all right and how much damage you had, and well, just go out there and have some fun, brother.
Oh yeah, we should be good. We'll just keep running. We'll see what happens.
All right, I believe you are in fuel sim, right?
Yeah, FSR. Yep.
FSR. All right. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, well, you heard it from him. Just a little bit of miscommunication there. Got guys a little bit off kilter. The lights on the pace truck are out. Hunter Reynolds is going to be your leader right now. Gabe Butler second, Dude Conrad third, Jimmy Reynolds in fourth, Brian Wang rounding out your top 10. Okay, Moose Pie, have a good night. Awesome to see you out there for just a little bit. These guys are on the back stretch. They come to turns 3 and 4. That'll get them down to the front stretch. Pace truck will dive off down to pit road. And then we will have a 5-lap shootout for the stage. Looks like Alex Gifford's still down on pit road. There goes the pace truck. White man's got the flag in his hand once again. We get to the Geico restart zone. Chevy Land, green flag, back out once again. 5-lap shootout for the stage. It is going to be a battle for sure. Hunter Reynolds on the inside. Gabe Butler, the 88 on the outside. With Kitty Real, Josh Ball, Dustin, Logston. On the inside, of course, we said Hunter Reynolds, Duke Conrad, Jimmy Reynolds. I believe that is the 1-5. 0-5 for Brian Wayne. Here DeBorja, all on that inside line as we come around turns 1 and 2 to the back stretch. Gabe Butler down on that low side. Hunter Reynolds right behind him. Kenny Real getting a push there by the one of Josh Paul. A little bit of back and forth going on. Pretty well, but those bumps going into the turns. Bubba Winningham goes to the outside back here. Ooh, 87, Adam Schramm going up to the high side. Don't know if he just bounced up there or what that was, but you see the wiggle, these guys coming out of the turn, hitting that bump. Hunter Reynolds dropped it back down in front of Gabe Butler. That's going to allow them to run for Kitty Real, Josh Ball to the outside. We are lap 22, getting a little bit of close door-to-door between the 1 and the 8. Oh, the 1, Josh Ball going up high. He is going sideways and upside down, barrel rolls through the air. That's going to bring out our caution, and that will end our stage. Let's take a look on that last crash and see what happened. Well, that took us to Zach Fritsch, but we're going to take a look at Josh Ball because he was the one that was going through the air. He just gets turned sideways, upside down, up and over. Barrel rolls a time or two through the air. The wind catches him, gets back down on all 4 wheels. Nate Warren getting a piece of that as well. The 48, Andrew Schroeder. The 53 of Dave Hunt. And the 16 up on his side. Vicente Guerrero trying to avoid it. It looked like that was Andy Brigante. Les Levy getting pushed down the pit road. So right now, whenever we're going to see for sure, but I believe that is going to be Hunter Reynolds that will get the stage point. So your stage winner Mr. Hunter Reynolds. We'll wait till he gets done with his pit stop. Get him up here. Well, Hunter, buddy, looks like you got that stage points, bud. How's things going down there for you guys?
Man, feeling pretty good right now. I think that's my first one of the season, so that's pretty cool. Appreciate Gabe for helping push me there. I was a little nervous about that 5-lap sprint, but worked out pretty good for us.
Now, I noticed there was some guys that took an early pit stop. Was that maybe a little bit of pit strategy for the stage, or trying to stay out? What was going? I don't know what you indulge too much, but from the way it looks, there was a group of guys that pitted early.
Yeah, that was us. I think the rest of the field came in after. We just don't have enough fuel to make it to the pit stop, so we just got to come in at some point and fill up, and then wherever you want to pit in, that's the strategy call. So we picked that lap to do it, and the thing is, if you pit early, you come out faster than everyone else, but they could catch a yellow if they stay out longer, which has happened to us many a time. So kind of just depends on what strategy you want to call and if a caution comes out or not. But thankfully, that caution before the stage worked out for us.
Well,
had to stay up front.
Yeah, well, good job, buddy. You did get those stage points, so now we got to get ready and get to racing for stage 2.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, man. All right, we'll get him back down to his team room right now. So Gabe Butler. Hunter Reynolds, your stage winner for stage 1. Stage 2 at lap 50. So we will see who gets a stage 2 win. But right now, coming off of pit road and get the restart, Steve Korsak in the first place by Gabe Butler second. Hunter Reynolds third, Duke Conrad in fourth, and Zach Workman rounding out your top 5. Jimmy Reynolds, Kuhn, Luttrell, Schramm, Fritsch rounding out your top 10. They are on the back stretch, so Dan Harrington, Bubba Winningham, Brian Wang, Kenny Rill, Lynn McNeese, Rick Sanchez, Jeff Crosby Sr., Mark Mann, Pete DeBorja, and Sean McCara rounding out the 20 cars. And then you have Warren, Guerrero, Levy, Brigante, Ball, Logston, Kilday, Schroeder, Crosby Jr., Dave Hunt, Eric Laurie, John Guerrera, Alex Giffen, and it looks like Doug Johnson may have taken his truck behind the wall for tonight, unfortunately, in his night. Hate to see it. Looks like he has called it a night, folks. Lights on the pace truck are out. Dives off down to pit road once again. Oh, I don't know what's going on back here. Green flag is back out. Seat 19 is Zach Workman. I don't know what happened there. I don't even went out and checked that whole outside line up. Here we go. We are on the loud pedal, folks. We're trying to finish out this second stage. We are lap 26, so about 24 laps, folks. We will finish out our stage. Ooh, Zach, that was Stephen Luttrell having issues. No caution. Stephen Luttrell hard to do the outside wall. Normally we don't do this, but we're going to do a rewind here while we are still live. Let's see if we can't get a chase view. See what happened with Steven. Oh, went to avoid running into the back of Jimmy Reynolds and just sent his truck up into the wall. Looks like he's going to have significant damage to that truck. We are back live here. He is down on pit road. Duke Conrad has taken over the lead. Gabe Butler, Zach Workman making a run on the outside. Zach Workman, Jimmy Reynolds, Zach Fritsch, Kenny Rill in the 42 of Peter DeBorja on that outside line. Inside, Gabe Butler, Dude Conrad. I believe that is the 027. That's all on the inside line. Here comes the 87. Excuse me, Adam Trump. And the 6 of Bubba Winningham. Trying to make a run to that outside, but by himself. Kind of looking back here through the field. We are side by side. 62 of Les Levy up in front of 14 of Vicente Guerrero. The 1 of Josh Ball and the 85 of Adam Kilday on that outside line. Mark Mann, Andy Brigante. That is the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. Looks like the 81 of Dustin Logston. Dustin opted to go to that outside line behind Kilday. Back up in the front. Well, we were 3 wide for a second. Jimmy Reynolds going to the outside. Bubba Winningham going to close that door as a 47 of Richard Coon drops down to the apron. Makes it back up on the racing. Zach Worker, Zach Rich, Kenny Real. Kenny looking to go back down low, but here comes Bubba. Kenny decides to go back up. Now he drops back down, trying to find that smooth line that we seen Saturday night with Rick Seabrands. Now Kenny pushing the 47 down to the apron. We're trying to keep an eye on this. If he tries to come down, he's not going to have the room. He is opting to stay on that second lane. Here comes Zach. That is 27 of Steve Morris and Gabe Butler down on the inside. Zach Workman, Zach Rich, Kenny Real still on that outside line. Ooh, big wiggle by the 8 of Dude Conrad. Able to maintain control. Zach try to break that draft a little bit to slow that outside line up. Back once again, still side by side racing 4 deep here. Yeah, they're not getting a whole lot of laps on Buell, so we'll take a look here. Looks like Corsek's been out here 11 laps, so he's going to have to pit at some point, but he can't do it from the top line. Their rule is you have to be established on that low line. So he's either going to have to go up high, let these guys pass. Zach Workman goes up to the high side. Now Zach Workman had been out here several laps as he falls back to that 17th spot. Probably looking for a spot to get to that low line right there, right behind the 1 of Josh Ball. Oh, around those of 27. What a save by Steve Morrison. No caution. What a save, but there goes Zach Workman right there, goes around, upside down, barrel rolls. Jeff Crosby Sr. getting a piece of it. Looks like maybe Les Levy getting involved in that as well. That forced several guys down pit road. Let's take a look here, folks. As we see Zach Workman getting bent out of shape. Looked like maybe a bad push from that 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. We see Jeff Crosby Jr. going down and just barely touches him on that left rear bumper. That gets him sideways. He tries to save it. And then up in the air, the wind catches him. He hits that inside wall. He goes flying, all four wheels on his side, on his lid. Does at least one roll there. Unfortunately, got several trucks involved. Les Levy did get involved. Looks like Alex Giffen may have missed it. Maybe Rick Sanchez getting up. Yeah, he's got some damage where he got up into the wall trying to avoid that. Well, that's going to bring out another caution here for us, folks. We are going to step aside for just a second. We will be right back. Uh-oh. Well, that happens when you hit the mute button on your headset, folks. I apologize about that. Again, we're looking at the end of stage 2. Bubba Winningham looks like he may have run out of fuel going down pit road. Thank you, Everett, for keeping an eye on me there, buddy, because I was over here just chatting away. I must have hit my mute button by mistake on my headset, guys. I do apologize about that. Now Brian Wayne out to the front. He is looking at maybe trying to win the stage here. As the caution comes out, I believe that is going to be the end of stage 2. We do see some smoke. That looks like John Guerrera into the wall. We're going to hang it on right here for just a second, folks. Making sure I am back. I'm seeing my bar light up. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I believe that was John Guerrera. Take a look here and see. Looks like we've seen a truck right there pop its head. That was the 33 of Jeff Crosby Jr. John Guerrera. I was looking for John to see what happened to his truck, but I'm not sure. It looked like he did hit that inside wall. But Brian Wang, though, will be your stage winner for stage number 2. So we will get Brian up here. Let's see if I can find him. He is in Delta Games. Whether he gets his pit stop done, and we'll bring him up. Into the booth for a quick interview. Brian, Steve up in the booth, buddy. Congratulations, stage 2 winner, man. How's it feeling out there to you? And you guys trying to save some fuel?
Yeah, thank you, man. It was definitely a fuel-saving race for the stage all the way till the end. Everybody else was just saving fuel, and so I just decided to go for it. I knew that Hunter and Gabe were up front most of the stint, so I knew that they probably had less fuel than me, and then I think I had I still had like a third of a lap of fuel remaining once I got to the pits. So it turns out I saved plenty of fuel, and yeah, lucky to be able to breeze by them like that.
Well, you know, it looks like it's going to be a fuel strategy race from here on out. So you're going to try to go hard. I mean, I don't want you to give up too much, but try to go hard and then pit early, or just strategize, save as much as you can, and go hard at the end?
I think we'll have to save at the start, and then we'll just see what happens.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations, stage 2 winner. Awesome job, Brian, and hopefully we'll get to visit with you at the end of the race.
Thank you.
All right, so we heard from Brian Wayne, our stage 2 winner. Awesome job. Congratulations again, Brian, for winning stage 2. Kind of want to see. Yeah, we'll bring Bubba up here to the broadcast booth. So, let's look and see. Well, we'll just kind of hang out here, guys. We are almost done with our pace laps. As you can see, Sean McCarry is your leader, Dan Harrington second, Steve Corsick in third, Hunter Reynolds in fourth, Gabe Butler in fifth. Braden, I thought it was last Friday, so it's this Friday. Oh, Josh Ball in sixth, Zach Workman in seventh, Zach Fritch in eighth, Nate Moore ninth, Dustin Logston rounding out your top 10. A pace car will dive off, or pace truck dives off the pit road. Blackman's got the green flag in his hand. They get her restart zone, green flag back out. Chevrolet green flag. We finish up his 31 laps of racing. We'll finish out the race tonight, hopefully on green flag. Definitely we are going to see some green flag pit stops. We're going to try to see, are they going to save fuel or go hard? Right now, everybody is trying to get up to speed. I see a couple of trucks in the 200-mile-an-hour range. Our leader looking back to the field, not a lot going on here, folks. Ooh, the 48, Andrew Schroeder going up high. And he forgot to take right behind him as he dives back down into that second lane behind Eric Laurie. At some of our trucks here, Les Levy used to be a lap down, Alex Giffen a lap down, and we're wrecking. That's the 071 of Eric Laurie, the 48, Andrew Schroeder, the 85 of Adam Kilday. Looks like the 13 of Andy Gante is that as well. Adam's truck is really messed up. Vicente Guerrero getting a piece of it. Andrew Schroeder as well. Let's take a look here and see what happened. It looks like it started down low. Let me get up here to it looked like it happened right there on Mark Mann and Vicente Guerrero. Let's take a look here as we get on a far chase. And we'll take a little bit of a frame-by-frame rewind here, folks. Looked like Vicente may have got down on that apron. He lets off of it. Mark lets out of it and just right into the back of Vicente. Vicente up into Eric Laurie and then up into Andrew Schroeder. And then Adam Kilday right there. Looked like he might have got tapped by the 84. No, he had it shut down. Was trying to shut it down and he gets sideways, then gets tagged. And then hard into that outside wall, breaking his left front wheel off of his truck. Slides back down the track, and then Dude Conrad finishes him off. Really nowhere for Dude to go. Well, that's going to change a little bit here, guys, with this unexpected caution. gonna have to get with the admins, because I cannot pull any of the CFM guys into the booth, so I need to be able to pull those guys, so we'll see what they say after the race. So Dan Harrington gonna be your leader right now. Zach Workman in second, Zach Fritsch third, Hunter Reynolds in fourth, Nate Warren in fifth, McCarr, Coruscant, Butler, Real, Ball rounding out your top 10, and then 11 through 20 is going to be Logston, Winningham, Wayne, Gante, Crosby Sr., Jimmy Reynolds, Richard Kuhn, Duke Conrad, Adam Strom, and Lynn McNeese. And then rounding out the rest of the field, DeBorja, Man, Guerrero still down on pit road, Kilday coming off of pit road, as well as Alex Giffen, Andrew Schroeder on pit road as well. And then Les Levy will probably get the wave around here in just a second. Stephen Luttrell out on the track in 28th. And I believe he is still one lap down. Dave Hunt down on pit road. Eric Laurie coming off of pit road. It looks like Rick Sanchez, Jeff Crosby Jr., John Guerrero, Doug Johnson out of the race for the night. As Les Levy is getting the waiver around, so Les will be back on the lead lap. Looks like Stephen Luttrell down pit road now. He was topping off. Here comes 84 Lynn McNeese coming off of pit road, as well as the 47 of Richard Coe. Adam Kilday coming off of pit road. Mark Mann coming off of pit road. Adam Schramm. Andrew Schroeder back out on the track. Adam's trying to get as much of that damage fixed as he can. Adam having a pretty rough night tonight. Caught up in a few incidents there. Of course, I cannot see whether they got fast repairs or not. One thing I need to get with the Nerditudes guys about to see if that is something that we can add into the data display. Top 10. 26 laps to go, folks. Again, getting about 12 to 13 laps. Mays, he's out. You're going to have to save a lot of fuel as Zach Fritsch drops it down to the inside in front of Nate Warren. Now Nate is right onto the back bumper of Fritsch. Has been working on the bumper of Warren. And the old 27 11 on the outside. As well as the 8 on the 13, 17, the 8, 48 to 42. Trucks coming down the back track, 214 mile an hour. Are looking at Zach Fritsch jumping up to 219. That is, guys, that is screaming in these trucks. Big shout out to Braden out there in chat. What's happening, Everett? Everett Grover tuning in out there. Got both of our Everetts out there tonight. Everett Baker, Everett Grover. Blue Pie joining us. Lorna, William Luttrell, Stephen Luttrell. Was playing around pre-race, got stuck on the inside wall. So, right now, folks, we are 24 laps to go amidst this green flag run. Now, of course, they did all hits. They've only been out just a few laps. Now we're looking at pit strategies. We can see Peter DeBorja on that outside line, really with no help, so he drops it back in behind the 36 Stephen Luttrell. Got some action going on back here on the flag. 13 of Gigante. Looks like the 99 of Alex Giffen. Something's going on with Richard. He is falling off the pace. He's trying to make up 211 mile an hour. At here. Of course, in that Nerditudes part of the Nerditudes esports team. Les Levy out here by himself. Ooh, door to door. 17 and the 26. Robert Stein. Back down. Trying to get this lap back to work. That's the 48 of Andrew Schroeder right on his bumper. Now we're looking at 3 wide once again with the 99 of Alex Giffen. DeBorja looking to the outside. Alex Giffen right there with him. Trying to get out of that hard lane. There's the 13 of Andy Brigante trying to stay in that draft. Back and forth battle up front. Steven Korsick on 27 and the 12 of Zach Rich. I'm sorry. Zach Rich. We got Zach Rich. Zach working. Oh, truck up into the wall. Back there on the straight coming out of the corner. He is falling way off pace. Hunter or Jimmy Reynolds up to the high side. He is falling back. Zach Rich, Dave Lawrence, Steve Korsick up front. 20 laps to go. Coming down pit road now. We are 19 laps to go. Looks like they've been out here for 9 laps. Lap 56 was there. 10 laps now they've been out on the track this end. So we are 3 wide battling right here Peter DeBorja on the outside. Adam Kilday right there with him. More every day. Man, day of fishing. Wish I could have been fishing today, but I was at work. Right now, yeah, Zach Rick's still out front. Any real here, they're coming up on lap traffic. That's going to send everybody up to the higher side. That is the 62 of Les Levy. He is going to get pushed down towards pit road. That was happening. Just have a caution now, folks. Let's see. Oh, right there, Nate. Oh, Nate Warren hard into that barrier. And we talking from 200 miles an hour down to 0 in an instant. Workman right on him. He looks like gives him a bad push. He tries to re-enter the track. It wasn't cleared. A Workman, and then right there, right in sideways, 2 of those sand barrels. Oh. That was a hard hit into those sand barrels as we see the smoke rolling out of his truck. Looking to see where he is at. Nate Warren looks like he is out of the race, folks. Hard hit. I don't even see him. Let's see if he is even in Discord anymore. It looks like he is gone out of Discord. Ooh. Guys, if you know anything about iRacing, these guys are using, most of these guys are using some sort of direct drive force feedback wheel. And I'm going to tell you, when I first got mine, I had mine hit way too high, and it like to broke my hand. So I hope that he didn't have a lot of force feedback, and I hope he's okay. So Nate, if you're watching the stream, buddy, I hope you're all right. Because some of these force feedback wheels have been known to break thumbs, break hands, break fingers. Right now, Peter DeBorja, your leader, Gabe Butler second, Dustin Logston third, Josh Ball fourth, Adam Strom fifth. Kenny Reel is going to stay out. And put him up to first with Makara in second. Mark Mann right now in third. And I'm trying to remember what team Nate was on. Ooh, Team Fuel Sim Racing. So we hope that he is all right. As the lights on the pace car are out, Kenny Real gonna be your leader. That was brutal, man. Guys, we are winding down the laps. We are at lap 70, so we will be 11 to go. Actually, it should be 10 to go when we hit the line on the restart. Mark Mann in a position as well tonight. Had a good run last night as well. Checkered Flag guys off down to the safety of pit road once again. They should have enough fuel. Green flag back in the air, folks, on the lap. Here we go. We're on 14 to go. 14 laps to go. Mark Mann, Dan Harrington on that second lane. Trying to get something going out there, but it's just them two trucks. They could get hooked up, they might be able to catch the 11 of Kenny Real as the 88. Looks like Gabe Butler going to the outside with Hunter Reynolds. Looks like Kenny Real, Sean Makara, Peter DeBorja, Steve Korosek on that inside line. Then you got Mark Mann, Dan Harrington, Gabe Butler, and the 26 of Hunter Reynolds. They're getting a few more trucks. There is the 12 of Zach Bridge. Get back to the They lap down. He's lapped down traffic. One lap down per day. He's trying to get his lap back the hard way. Nate, buddy, are you okay? I saw we were talking about the force feedback. Hopefully you guys can see or you didn't have your force feedback turned up real high. Like I said, when I got my R9, I had that new cranked up way too high. I hit the wall off my wrist. Well, Nate, as long as you're not running up down the track screaming, "Help me, Tom Cruise," and "Help me, Oprah Winfrey," I guess we'll be all right. Good battle though right now. Kenny Real by the 04 of Mark Mann. That's Zach Fritch looking to the outside in that 12 machine, but he does drop it back down. That's battle up front. What we're watching right now as Gabe Butler goes up. Barely having enough room to get back into the line behind Dan Harris and Hunter Reynolds. Here we go, folks. 11 laps to go. Coming down the back stretch, Kenny Real, Peter DeBorja. Here comes that 71 of Sean Makara. The 04 of Mark Mann, the 82 of Dan Harrington. Oh, Mark, big big move by Mark. Looked like maybe some net code. End up taking the 71. That's going to bring out a caution. Let's look at this here, folks. And that was going to be on we're going to be on Mark Mann. We're going to rewind this just a little bit. I don't know if it was net code or if that bump got Mark. But as they come into the turn, Mark makes a hard turn to the inside. Gets into Josh Ball. And I think that was net code between him and Sean Macara. We'll see Mark go down. Yeah, that was 100% net code. That sent Sean up to the wall. But then Hunter Reynolds, looks like people check it up. Hunter check it up and getting tagged. The 48, the 17, getting involved in that. Bubba Winningham might have got a piece of it as well. As Andrew Schroeder is trying to save it, goes around. Zach Workman goes up to the high side. Back down, and Dude Conrad able to get around Andrew Schroeder. Mark is down on pit road right now. Kenny Real out there. Let's see how this works out now. Kenny is your leader. Peter Borgia second. Steve Korosek third. Josh Ball fourth. Adam Schramm fifth. Then you got Fritch, Workman, Brigante, Conrad, Wang rounding out your top 10. Kilday, Logston, Butler, Jimmy Reynolds, Bubba Winningham, Dan Harrington, Richard Kuhn, Lynn McNeese, Jeff Crosby Sr., and Sean Macara rounding out your top 20. Hunter Reynolds still down on pit road. As Mark Mann's coming off of pit road. I want to get Mark's idea here. Let's see if he'll talk to us. Mark, got time to visit with us real quick, buddy?
Yo, what's up, Sean?
Hey, but this ain't Sean. This is Steve.
I just took Sean out.
Well, actually, that was net code.
Yeah, it felt like it snapped on me, like, boom. All of a sudden, it was just a quick wham.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was wanting to ask you, did you feel anything weird in your steering wheel? Because you were right there with Sean, and all of a sudden your truck just snapped to the inside and came back up. And then when it came back up, there was about a 4-foot, 5-foot gap between you and Sean. And then all of a sudden, Sean's truck just went sideways.
It definitely could have been net code. All I knew was my car went left, like all of the sudden, and then Sean. You know, I hate that he got into that. Really apologize to anyone who got mixed up in that. I'm gonna get back out here. I'm not gonna have a very good finish, and I guess that's okay. That's the second wreck I've caused tonight.
Oof. Well,
the other one was with Vicente in front of me. It was a monster checkup, and I was on the brakes, and just wasn't on them hard enough.
well.
And at these speeds, it's hard. It's hard to get picked up.
I was fixing to say, even in these trucks at 200 plus mile an hour, dude, they don't stop on a dime. But well, guys,
Definitely don't.
Mark, thanks for taking the time to visit with us and
Yeah,
kind of
man.
getting your idea. But from the way it looked from us here in the booth, it really looked like netcode because you just snapped down and then right back up, and then you never even touched Sean, and it just broke the rear end loose on his truck. So,
You know, I hate it for him, and I hate it for Vince early on. You know, if you're gonna, I don't think I've caused a wreck maybe all season, so I guess I was due.
well, it's not very often that we see you cause anything, Mark. So, man, keep your head up and keep pushing forward, brother.
Thanks, man.
We'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right, we'll get him back down there as we get to the restart zone. Green flag in the flagman's hand. Chevrolet green flag back out once again. 8 laps to go. Back on the lap. Getting a good push. Up to Steve Morrison. But on the outside, the one of Josh Ball. That is Zach Fritch. Andy Brigante. The 05 of Brian Wang on the outside. Inside, though, Kenny Real, Steve Korsick, but then the 42 of Pete DeBorja jumping to the outside, going to get in front of Josh Ball, out to the front. Boom, big move. Guys, I'm seeing some, that's got to be some net code going on. I mean, these guys, I've seen them make aggressive moves, but not where the trucks just snap like that. I don't know what's going on. On the back of that one of Josh Ball. Peter DeBorja, Zach Fritch, Andy Brigante, Brian Wang on that outside. Oh, Peter around. That's going to bring out another caution here, folks. We're going to take a look at this and see as we get right there on Peter DeBorja and Zach Fritch. Kenny, another net code, guys. Kenny Real came up, but never made contact with Pete. You're going to see Kenny kind of fade up a little bit when they go into the corner right there, and the gap you'll see that gap between Kenny's truck and the 42. And that just sent Peter around. Zach Fritch nowhere for him to go. Andy Brigante nowhere for Andy to go. Looks like Gabe Butler into the back of the 13. We are back live once again here, folks. Josh Ball going to be your leader. Kenny Real in second. Steve Corson third. Hey, Jeremy. Yeah, Kenny, that, you know, I was wondering if that was what that was. I know it was when you went up, but the little pop-up didn't, you know, I'm just wondering, but well, I tell you what, we'll go ahead. We'll bring Kenny up. Kenny, I know you're out there in chat, buddy, but did you just kind of overdrive into the corner, push you up, and then you were trying to turn back down? Is that what was happening?
Yeah, it's hard to see the entrance of the corner when you're pushing somebody. So I was telling my teammate to, I was pushing Josh, he's my teammate, and I was telling him to let me know when the corner was coming. He let me know, and on the entrance it washed up, and I watched back on the broadcast to see the replay, and I was turning back down. As I was coming back down, it seems like as a net code happened, even when I was coming back down the track. So I know netcode the last few weeks, and every car has been really bad, especially the B car and the trucks. So it's just hopefully this update coming up in a few days will fix all this.
Yeah, it should be tomorrow. I think it's going. The system will be down for the big update. Hopefully it does fix it, but man, I know it didn't look like anything intentional from Ari and Kenny, but you know, of course, y'all will have the campfire at the end of the race. But man, good run, and I know you didn't do it on purpose from the way it looks, and I'm sure there was apologies right away.
Yeah, I told him after I looked at it, it was netcode. I hate, I don't like wrecking anybody. I pride myself on racing people clean and, hard. I don't like making contact with people, especially when we're running up front. So, yeah, I feel bad for Peter. He's been pushing me plenty tonight. So, hopefully he can get back up here and make a decent race out of it.
All right. Well, you guys will have a 4 laps to go. Be an official green-white checker. But good luck, buddy, and we'll see what happens.
Appreciate it.
Putting back down into the No Presta team. That is Adam Schramm, Josh Ball, Kenny Real, Thomas Lockwood, and Vicente Guerrero. Racers are going to Omaha. Is that the Murray State Racers? Is that what they're called? Yeah, okay. Well, it's good to see you out there, Jeremy. Been a while since you tuned in and visited with people in the chat. Like I said, folks, this will be a regulation GWC attempt. Looking to see. Okay, so we had 2 GWC attempts for Monday Night Premier League. Only 2. This will be a regulation GWC. This will not be overtime. Green flag, Chile, green flag back out, gun ball on the left. Back clear. Getting real to the outside. Coming up to that second line in front of Kenny. We are 2 to go here, folks. Coming down the backstretch, Josh Ball out front, Steve Corsick in second. Brian Wang right now in the third. Maybe a side-by-side nose to tail. We see a third lane trying to form. And that is going to be the 26th at Hunter Reynolds. Steve Corsick going to the wall. That is going to bring out a caution, folks. And that will be the cause of our first UWC attempt. Let's take a look here and see what happened. Let's go on a chase view. As Kenny Real was right there again. We're going to try to get this turned over. He was on the bumper of that 027. Well, looking at it, he wasn't even really touching him. When he got loose, but he got loose right there, and then really nowhere for Kenny to go. Unfortunately, that sent Steve Corsick up into the wall. Looked like the old 71 got a piece of that as well. As Corsic is crab walking that truck down the back straightaway. Try to get it back to pit road. Shut up, Jeremy. No, I don't think that's going to pass Tech either. As he got some major damage. You see that front wheel just a bouncing. Going to definitely have some engine issues as well. Almost looks like a Tokyo drift coming down pit road. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on Steve here to see if he has a fast repair left or not. I don't think he was involved in a lot to have to use it. As he slides out of his pit box trying to get stopped. He's taking right sides, he'll take left sides. Looks like he had his fast repair, so he is back going. So that is good news. So that will keep him on the lead lap, I believe. That's going to put Josh Ball as your leader. Brian Wang in second. Dustin Logston third. Kenny Real back to fourth. Adam Schramm fifth. Adam Kilday sixth. Duke Conrad seventh. Zach Workman in eighth. Glenn McNeese at ninth. And Hunter Reynolds rounding out your top 10. Well, this will be GWC attempt number 1. While they are coming down the backstretch, we're going to go ahead and step aside for just a minute, but we will be right back. Well, folks, we are back. Pace truck will dive off down to pit road. Hopefully they can get it done with this GWC attempt. We'll find out. Flagman's got the green flag in his hand. Here we go into the restart zone. Green flag back out. GWC attempt number 1. We are in OP overtime. On MaxspeedTV. We appreciate everybody tuning in. 18 viewers out there. Only 6 likes. If you haven't hit that like button, please do so. Ooh, as we get sideways, great recovery from Brian Wang and Josh Ball. As they come down the backstretch, they got to make it back around to the start finish line to get the white flag. side draft in there. You got to be careful because that bump and the way the neck code is being could be causing issues. Josh Ball does take the lead coming out of turn number 4 to the start-finish line. White flag in the air, folks. Here we go. Whatever happens is going to happen. As the 25 of Brian, whereas the 05 of Brian Wang is trying to get pushed out to the front by Kenny Real. Dustin Logston, Josh Ball on the inside, coming down the back straightaway. Big wiggle by Josh Ball. Here comes Kenny Real and the 23 of Brian Wang, 85 Adam Kilday. Then on the outside, Hunter Reynolds trying to make a move on the outside as Kenny Real drops it down to the inside lane. It's going to come through a drag race coming down turns 3 and 4. Kenny Real getting turned up into Adam Kilday. Brian Wang taking the lead. Here comes Hunter Reynolds, now has the lead. Looks like it's going to be Hunter Reynolds, Brian Wang, Lynn McNeese grabbing that final podium spot. We're going to go back and take a look at the carnage here, folks. It started back here with Kenny Real. As we get to his truck, Brian Wang on his inside grabs him by the corner there. As we see he is peeking to the inside, hooks him right there on that left corner bumper, gets him around right up into Adam Kilday. Several other trucks involved. The 19 of Zach Workman, the 81 of Dustin Logston, the 87 of Adam Schramm, Dude Conrad down there on the bottom. That is the 15. I believe that is Jeff Crosby Sr., Andy Brigante, the 42 of Peter DeBorja, the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds, the 53 of Dave Hunt. But Hunter Reynolds getting that run on the outside of Brian Wang. That's going to get him the checkered flag. But then the battle for third, Dude Conrad, Lynn McNeese. Barely by they actually crossed the finish line, looks like, at the same time. But they're going to give it to Lynn. We're going to take a look here, get on a chase view. And you can see that Lynn barely has that nose stuck out. As we get to the line, Lynn is going to catch it by, just a spoiler. Unbelievable finish. Well, guys, hang tight. We're going to step aside. We'll get our top 3 up here for our MaxspeedTV TV post-race interview. We will be right back. All right, folks, we are back, and we have caught up with our top three here. We will start with our third place finisher, who barely got that third place. I mean, by a kind of like Saturday night with the spoiler. But Lynn, awesome job, buddy. Squeaked out the victory there by, man, just looks like you guys actually tied according to the timing screen, but the way the photo finish was, you had him by just a front spoiler on that truck. Pretty wild night tonight. Not as many cautions as we had Saturday night, but man, let's talk about it. How did these trucks feel out there tonight?
Oh, the trucks felt good. They had a good setup tonight. I didn't get into the mayhem on Saturday night. I heard about it, but yeah, I think that was just barely squeaked across there to get third out of it. So,
well, looked like Richard might have been trying to push you right there at the end, but you know that last wreck there slowed a lot of people down, you guys included. You know, it was pretty close. You had dude on your outside, and then looked like Dan Harrington on the outside of him. So very, very close finish, but you know, according to iRacing, you do got the third place finish tonight, brother. How? Congratulations! I don't know what to say or even ask.
hey, I dodged the big one there at the end. Is all we can say. It wasn't a fast truck. I mean, we was about mid pack all night. We got caught up in one of the earlier wrecks and tore it up and had to go to a fast repair. So I was just trying to save it there all night just because I knew if they wrecked again, I was out of fast repairs, wasn't going to get anywhere. And I seen them piling up there at the end. And I was like, oh, great, this is not the right place. And just the seas parted at the right time, and I got through it, is all I can say. So it was better lucky than good any day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, this iRacing Super Speedway, you know, we talked about it Saturday night, but it is a technical super speedway. You know, the trucks you could probably stay wide open, but as the race goes on the older tires, you do have to lift just a little bit, especially with those bumps in the corners.
Yeah. Yeah, I was noticing mine was having, during the long run, what we had a little bit of a long run there, the right front was wearing more than anything, so it was starting to get a little bit of a pushy loose out of it there as long as we run with it.
Well, awesome job, buddy. Congratulations on your podium P3 tonight. The mic sure is any final thoughts, shout outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate?
All right, buddy. Well, I definitely want to thank Hunter there, or congratulate Hunter on the win there, and want to thank all the admins over here for putting on this good league over here. Enjoy racing with them, and and you always putting on good broadcast up there. So it's just get over here and have a little fun and enjoy it every night.
All right, brother. Well, congratulations, and we will see you probably. I might see you guys Wednesday.
Sounds like a winner, buddy.
All right, brother.
Have a good night.
See ya. Well, if I could get you, I'll just put you down in the campfire for now. All right. Well, that's going to bring us to our second place finisher tonight. We'll get on him here. Let me get Brian into the booth here. Mr. Brian Wang and that, 025 05 Budweiser machine. Brian looking like he was maybe going to try to get another victory, but hey, a P2 finish is not bad. Good points not for you, Brian. How did you avoid the carnage?
Yeah, it was basically just sending it at the right time, I guess. Yeah, I was pretty lucky to not get involved in some of the wrecks, and I guess we just managed to stay near the front up to the end.
Well, awesome job. Again, good points not for you, good points not for your team. But, iRacing Super Speedway is what I call a technical super speedway track. You can't really go full bore here, especially when you start getting on older tires. But, the trucks don't get real good fuel mileage. So, sometimes it's best to take fuel in 4 tires when you pit.
Yeah, sometimes. I believe me and my teammate, we were just able to do no tires pretty much most of the green flag stops. For all of the green flag stops, we just did fuel only.
Well, let's talk about that last little incident there. I mean, you were right there in the mix. I right off the top of my head, I know Kenny was right there, and it looked like maybe somebody got out of sort, and I don't know if it was you that was behind him, but kind of peeking to the inside, but kind of rubbed that left bumper, and that's what got him spinning around. Unfortunately, he took out several trucks on that last lap coming out of the corner. What did you see? What did you feel?
Yeah, well, I was content with pushing Kenny all the way till the end. Obviously, his teammate was behind me, so I knew I couldn't really make any decent move, especially with his teammate on the outside as well. So I was kind of boxed in and just had to push for second place. But mid-corner, he kind of drifts up, and so I go down a bit. And at that point in my car, when he was drifting up, I thought he was just going to go block the top because the top had a run. And yeah, obviously, I'm just sticking on the inside. I'm trying to stay on the yellow line the whole time. And I guess he just comes down.
Well, it's unfortunate, you know, it's racing. It's hard racing. It's last lap racing. But, you know, it worked out. You got that P2 finish tonight behind Hunter. But awesome job, man. Congratulations. I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to you. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give for You'll Celebrate?
Yeah, thank you for broadcasting. Congrats to Hunter. That was a great win for him. Thanks to Steve, my teammate. And shout out to former OP champion Kevin Freeze.
All right, buddy. Well, go celebrate. We will catch you next week, brother. And just have a good week.
Thanks.
All right, folks. Well, that is going to bring us to our race winner here tonight. We'll get him down here into the booth. Hunter Reynolds coming out with the victory. Now, I believe that's your second win on the season, isn't it?
No, sir.
Oh,
It's
it's
my
your
first.
first. Okay. I have to look back.
I got
at that.
close last week.
I was fixing to say, I thought you were close, but we'll take a look at our standings here real quick. I'll get this pulled up. So yeah, you were
It was
down
second
there.
or third, I think.
You were last week you were let's see. You were third last week, so yeah, another good points night for you. Good team points night for you. Man, that last lap though was kind of crazy. What was you seeing out your windshield, buddy?
Man, there's a lot going on. It's kind of started P10, I think, on that last green white checkered. Was kind of staying tucked because the high line, it's really hard to generate energy, especially if you don't have a lot of cars with you. I did have my dad behind me, and Gabe came up later, and kind of on that last lap, pulled out. We got formed up. The bottom lane was switching places as well, and sailed it off there into turn 3. Was feeling pretty decent. I knew we'd have a little run coming out of the corner, but didn't know if it was going to be enough. And then they piled it up down there in the bottom. I thought it was over, but I got a push from my dad, kept it clean, and somehow stayed straight and came out with it. So, hey, sometimes it better be lucky than good.
Yep.
And tonight I got lucky.
Well, yeah, that's another question I want to ask you. I mean, you know, you get down in that low lane, second lane. You have to contend with the big bump down at the bottom there. With the higher side, it's a little bit smoother here, but you lose so much momentum going into the corner, about mid-corner, but you gain so much coming off of the turn. But you got to have help with you.
Yeah, you do. We were kind of talking about that in team chat tonight. The bottom, yeah, it was just so fast in the corners. And the high side, it was actually pretty difficult, I thought, to generate a run. But once you had one, you were clearing at least 2 or 3 trucks. So it really just depended on where you were situationally. And then if you could get a good push on the bottom, you could stay up pretty good. But yeah, if that high side just formed up a little too much, or if somebody pulled out, had some clean temps, then yeah, they were getting a massive run.
Well, let's talk a little bit about tire strategy. I know, you know, most of our super speedways, Daytona, Talladega, don't really eat up the tires that much. What about the iRacing super speedway? How was your tire wear tonight?
Honestly, tonight it wasn't too bad. I mean, we had obviously this track's gonna wear more than the other ones because of the aggressive banking and high speeds, but really the right sides you have to worry about, and we could just kind of manage, and we had a lot of cautions tonight, so we could take tires kind of whenever we wanted to. But yeah, not too bad. Didn't really affect getting into pit road. The trucks are pretty easy to get woe down for pit speed, and yeah, not too bad tonight. Just took tires every once in a while, and didn't have to worry about it too much.
All right, buddy. Well, man, congratulations on the victory tonight. Before you go celebrate, I want to turn the mic over to you, Hunter. Any final thoughts, shout-outs, things you want to give?
Thanks, I appreciate it. Appreciate all the boys back at Buttkicker putting in work and working good together. I don't know what's going with that, but appreciate you guys. Appreciate you up in the booth. Steven do a great job. I'd like to thank all the admins. They do a lot of work, hard work behind the scenes to put this together and give us a good place to run. And OP's been here a while, so thanks to all of them. And thanks everybody watching. If you coming out every week to watch us on Monday nights, appreciate you, and thank you.
All right, Hunter. Go celebrate, buddy. We're going to get you down to the post-race campfire room down there so y'all can talk about what happened. Congratulations. And it's like I told Lynn, I might see you guys out on the track Wednesday. I may come run with you guys Wednesday.
Man, come get you some. We'll see you out there for sure.
All right, brother. We'll see you later.
Yes, sir.
We'll get him down there to the post-race interview, folks. That's going to bring us to our unofficial results here on MaxspeedTV. TV. Of course, Hunter Reynolds, your winner tonight in that 26 Reynolds Rat Machine. Brian Wang in that Budweiser Kevin Freeze throwback there in a second. Lynn McNeese barely squeaking out a third-place finish over Dude Conrad. Dude Conrad finished fourth. Dan Harrington in fifth. Richard Kuhn in sixth. Les Levy in seventh. Steve Korsick in eighth. Mark Mann ninth. Adam Schramm in 10th. Andy Brigante 11th. Jimmy Reynolds finishing 12th. Kenny Real, unfortunately, getting knocked back into 13th. Josh Ball 14th. Zach Workman in 15th. Jess Crosby Sr. 16th. Vicente Guerrero finishing 17th. Sean Macara in 18th. Finishing 19th was that 88 machine of Gabe Butler in 20th. Dustin Logston. Adam Kilday got caught up in that last little wreck, finishing 21st. Bubba Whittingham 22nd. Peter DeBorja 23rd. Dave Hunt 24th. Eric Laurie 25th. Zach Fritsch 26th. Andrew Schroeder 27th. Stephen Luttrell finishing 28th. And rounding out the rest of the field in 29th was Nate Warren. 30th was Alex Giffen. Rick Sanchez finishing 31st. Jeff Crosby Jr. in 32nd. John Guerrera 33rd. And Douglas Johnson finishing out the 34th spot. Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight on Maxspeed TV. I'm getting to the point where I can't talk. But I do appreciate everybody tuning in out there in the chat. Everett Grover, Everett Baker, Jeremy Medlock, Kenny Real popping in there. Let me see. Netsby, Brandon Kaus showing up for a little while. Appreciate that. Lorna Luttrell, I'm sorry. William Luttrell out there. Of course, Stephen Luttrell getting hung up on that inside wall at the beginning of the race. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. All the likes that we do get. Don't forget, guys, we will be back Saturday right here on Maxspeed TV. Myself up in the booth for the OP Saturday Night Unlimited Buttkicker Series in the Xfinity cars. And then Joshua, again, back on the microphone for a new league coming into Maxspeed TV on Saturday night. So we'll have a double broadcast. So glad to see and have Joshua back up into the booth calling races once again. But until Saturday night, folks, please, you guys be safe. Have a great week, and we will see you next time.